Kristen here with the Openshaw Realty Group. Today I wanted to go over the 5 steps of buying a house. They might sound pretty obvious and you've probably heard a couple of these before, but the first step is to decide if you really want to buy a house, if you're actually ready. So really it's kind of ground zero and step zero of, are you ready to take on this responsibility? Is this something that you're ready to do and you want to do? Because it's a big commitment and it's a lot to take on. So that is step zero of decide if you're actually at that point and ready to buy a house. Step 1 is to find your agent. Now that may be a real estate agent or it may be a realtor. It's all up to you. It's all part of the deciding process on who you are hiring. This is a big deal, buying a house. It's most people's biggest financial commitment in their life. So it is super important to have somebody that is on your side that you know, like, and trust in their ability to get the job done and to protect you through the whole process. Now, certain agents have experience in very different styles of real estate. You might have a realtor or a real estate agent that is super commercial based and very experienced in commercial real estate. That's a very different beast to residential real estate. So decide on what are the most important factors. Do you want an agent that has designations in the field of what type of property you're looking for, such as farm and ranch, residential, senior real estate living, luxury homes? You are the only one that knows exactly what you want in your next property. So just decide on how you're going to pick that agent. Are you looking at number of transactions, volume that they've closed? Are you looking at the number of years they have in the business? Are you looking at the area that they live? Do they live where you want to buy a house so that they know those neighborhoods? All great questions to ask yourself and ask the agent during the interview process. The second part to step 1 is something that we strongly believe in, is that there are really only 2 reasons people get into real estate, whether it's buying real estate or investing in real estate. So the first reason is long-term wealth. We believe that the majority of people buy real estate, property, land, houses, commercial buildings, whatever it is, to invest in themselves and their long-term wealth. The second reason, which is probably the more focused on in the real estate world, is your quality of life. Now, whether that is we're living in an apartment right now and we really want to get into a larger house, we've got little ones on the way, we have animals, we want land, we want space, we want a garden, whatever that is for you, that falls under that quality of life umbrella. So just have a think on that while you're in that first step 0 of deciding if you want to buy a house. What are your lifestyle questions? What are the things that your lifestyle is looking to gain from buying a house or a property? So step 2, I'm sure that if you've been looking at houses online, you've already heard this term, and that is pre-approval. So it is super important to get the pre-approval steps started before you go looking at houses. And that's not just so that us as agents can be excited that we have this piece of paper. It is all about you and knowing what you can buy, where you can buy it, how much, and how we as realtors need to structure that offer to make sure that you're best protected. Now, the lender, the mortgage consultant, can go over everything with you. That part is outside of our lane of expertise. So if you run into an agent that starts quoting rates or telling you exactly all the minute details of a loan, just watch out for that because it is outside of our lane unless we're licensed in that. Mortgage professionals are very experienced in what they do. They can go over every loan package that their company offers. And bear that in mind, not every loan company offers the same packages. So it is always a good idea to get a couple of opinions. That's not something that's held against you or your credit if you do it in a certain time period. So just don't worry about, oh my gosh, I don't want so many people hitting my credit. It's okay to shop around. They actually expect you to, so that you can make an educated decision. The lender is going to go over loan types, and loan type is going to feed into what type of property can we get. If you're an active military member or you're a retired military member, you may have a VA eligibility. VA eligibility feeds into the quality type of the house. We have to make sure that that property, the condition, the location, everything about it, value, all meets the VA's requirements. We do not want to show you a house that you are going to fall in love with and then go, oh, just kidding, your loan won't approve this one, we shouldn't have shown it to you. So this step 2 is super important to make sure that we only let you into the properties that could potentially be your next home. The other part of this consult with the mortgage company is super important is, what if you have a couple of little things on your credit that need repaired? The mortgage company or the financial consultant that you talk to is going to be able to make a plan with you on, okay, you got a couple of credit cards, a couple of car payments, whatever that might be, mortgage payments from an existing house, whatever it is that's your debt to income, your DTI. They're going to make a plan with you and say, listen, if you buy it now, this is what your rate is. If you do ABC and reduce your debt to income ratio, reduce your debts that are outgoing, that could drop your rate to this amount, and that could save you this much on your payments, and over a 30-year note, this much of a saving. So make sure you have those conversations with your lender. They're vital. They can save you a lot of time, money, and stress further down in the process. Step 3 is to research. We as realtors are not allowed in the state of Texas to tell you if a neighborhood is a great neighborhood or a bad neighborhood, if there's high crime, low crime, zero crime. We can't tell you those kinds of things. Just like we're actually not allowed to give you an opinion on the school districts either. We can't sit there and say, my kids go to this school and it's fantastic. I wouldn't go anywhere else. This is the school district that you want. We can't do that, guys. In Texas, our license does not allow us to give you that kind of advice. We can, however, point you to some phenomenal websites that will give you all of that information. They're all public record. They're all free for anybody to find out and look up and check into and research. And we have a list of them that we have found super helpful and useful to past clients that they've loved the information, and so far, we have not had anybody come back and say, oh my gosh, that website was so wrong and we didn't know what we were getting into. So just bear that in mind. That's something that we can definitely provide you as resources so that you can look into neighborhoods, areas, commute time. Do you have something specific that you want to do with that property when you move in? Do you want to have certain breeds of dogs, certain types of animals? Do you want to have a certain number of animals? Do you want to run a business from your home? All of these things are very, very, very important to know up front, because you may decide, I don't want to be in a HOA, which is a homeowners association. That's totally fine. Some people love them, some people don't. But bear in mind, just because there's no HOA does not mean that there are no deed restrictions against the activity that you might want to do at the property. So that's something that we will go over in the next step of everything you're looking to do at that property. Let's make sure in the research phase we figure out how we can decipher if that's allowed or not allowed in certain areas, certain neighborhoods, certain housing subdivisions, and so on. That leads us into step 4, which is kind of getting into the exciting parts, filling out the buyer's wish list. We have a great online fillable form that you can check out and fill in, and it basically is all of the questions that you could have about your next home. Does it have high-speed internet available? Does it have 4 bedrooms? Does it have an acre? Does it have privacy fence? Does it have a swimming pool? All of those kind of things are your lifestyle questions, and it does dig deeper as well. What do you want to do at the property? Again, like we touched on in the last step, do you have a certain number of horses that you want? Dogs, cats? Do you want to run a boarding facility? Do you want to run a grooming center? Whatever it might be, we want to know about it so that we can protect you moving forward, to know that the property allows it. Now, that wish list is something that you can edit through time, but it is something that we'll take with us to showings with you so that we can keep you on track, because we know it's really hard when you walk into a gorgeous house to just go, yeah, it doesn't have the 4th bedroom for our 3rd kiddo, it's fine, the house is gorgeous, they can sleep somewhere else. We're going to be there going, on your wish list, it was kind of important for everybody to have their own bedroom, and just kind of help keep you grounded during the shopping process. And finally, step 5 is to schedule a one-on-one consultation with a realtor or real estate agent. We schedule these online, in person, whatever you're comfortable with. This is really important to, like we touched on earlier, interview the agent and figure out if that agent is someone that you want to work with and that you know, like, and trust to do a great job and look after you and to fight for you. In this market right now that we're seeing, and I know we're seeing it in multiple markets across the US, there is super low inventory. So competition is very fierce. It's kind of like that musical chairs game you play as kids. You know, we got 37 buyers and we got 4 chairs. And everybody that's a buyer is running around these 4 chairs, and the second it hits the market, everybody is pouncing on it. So it is extremely important, more so now than ever, to have a good agent on your side to make sure that we write that offer the best way possible while protecting you, but to make you the most attractive buyer to win this contest with the seller and get your offer accepted, get you closed, and get you in your new home. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see more of our content, go ahead and click the subscribe button or comment and like below.